The knife does not know who the owner is, nor does the gun. Here we're going to Surah 24, which is Surah to Nur, the Surah devoted to uh, light, the light that we see. Of course, physical light and spiritual light. We have introduction to summary. This can be found on page 1001. That's 1001. We go to sex offenses to be punished in public. Sex offenses to be published in public. Indeed, in today's world, if we were to go by it, maybe 90% of the world would have been punished in public. Mm. But we are not going about we are not going about it this that way, and that is why it goes on. If we were to be going on well, there would be fewer and fewer sex offenses. So sex offenses to be punished in public. Slander of women is a grave offense. That's feminine rights. Slander of women is a grave offense. Mm. Today, not only slander, killing. See people killing women for rituals. So you see, Quran is a Quran of light. Mm. You deceive a girl that you love her, take her home, and unalive her, finish her there. You don't stop there. Maybe eat her meat as well, or cut her parts for your rituals for money. For how long? Or to live for how long in this world? Okay, slander of women is a grave offense. Text and notes. You will find that from section sign 1 to sign 26. Then we have privacy and decorum in the home. Privacy and decorum in the home. Mm. Chastity and purity. Chastity and purity. Text and notes. You can find that from verse 27 to verse 34. And that is Surah 24. My book, the binding was not done well, so I think the pages were misplaced. Huh? From there, we're supposed to go to page Surah 25. But I can't find it. Oh, 24. No, 26. Pardon me, viewers. I don't know. 25 is here. 25 is here. And even we haven't finished with 24. So 24 continues. Mm. Nur continued. God is light. God is light. Mm. Semicolon. Parable of light and darkness. Parable of light and darkness. Text and notes. You'll find that in sign from sign 35 to sign 57. And that is on page 1015 or 1015 to 1025. 1015 to 1025. We go down, we get privacy and respect for elders. Privacy, privacy and respect for elders. Mm. But no superstitions in social intercourse. No superstitions in social intercourse. Semicolon. Then we have decorum in public council and respect for leader. That's well-behaved leader with good conduct. Nobody with evil conduct becomes a leader in Islam. Or then we have text and notes. You find it from verse 58 up to verse 64, sign 58 up to sign 54, and that can be found on page 1026 to 1030. We go to Surah 25, chapter 25, Suratul Furqan, that's the criterion of going about things. Mm. Introduction and summary. You'll find that on page 1031. Under it, we have revelation is the criterion for distinguishing between light and wrong. Mm. Man was just living, and a man would have only been living without any guide. And here the writer is telling us revelation is the criterion for distinguishing between right and wrong. When you say revelation, the total revelation, mm, from the revelation of Abraham through uh, Moses and David to Muhammad, the total of it is revelation. Mm. So revelation is the criterion for distinguishing between right and wrong. Text and notes can be found in sign 20, from sign 1 to sign 20. Remember, this is a new chapter for Khan criterion. Then after that, we have judgment will seize the blasphemous. Judgment will seize the blasphemous, mm, who reject God's signs. Semicolon. Uh, God's truth in revelation penetrates slowly to man, governed by impulse. Text and news. I love that. Mm. Let me repeat it. God's truth in revelation penetrates slowly in man. You see, when the Quran was first brought, nobody wanted to believe it. They fought Muhammad, SAW, and slowly and slowly and slowly it's getting prominence. Mm. Even during my childhood days, people didn't like the Quran. Mm. The Bible seemed to be up, but now people all over the world are beginning to understand the Quran and to follow it. So this statement couldn't be more true. Mm. God's truth and revelation penetrates slowly to man, governed by impulse. Mm. Text and notes 1038 to 1044. Then under it we have signs of God in nature point to the law divine. Signs of God in nature point to the law divine. Semicolon. The virtues of those who adore him. Uh, the virtues of those who adore him who God. Mm. Text and notes. Sign 45 to sign 77. This can be found on pages 144 through 1054. We go to the next chapter, which is Ashura, Ashurao, I think the poets, Ashurao. Introduction and summary can be found on page 1055. Mm. Fret not, fret not. Fret is spelled Fret. Fret not, semicolon. God's light will shine, comma, as it did before the wise ones of Pharaoh. Text and notes, sign 1 to sign 61. Remember this a different surah altogether, surah 26, surah, surah poets. Then, after that, we have, in spite of Abraham's people, Abraham received the light, semicolon. No less did Noah, comma, in the world of unfaith, in the world of unfaith. Mm. Text and notes, sign 70 to 122. Then we have after that, the earth perished for their violence. The earth people perished for their violence. And the Talmud for extravagance. For extravagance. The earth perished for violence and the Talmud for extravagance and sacrilege. Semicolon. They could not resist God. They could not resist God. Text and notes. Chapter 26 That's Surah signs 123 to 159. Surah to Surah. Uh, yes, we continue. Uh, like I say, I have an old book, and during the binding, it was done wrongly. The pages have been mixed up. Mm. Uh, it was help to me anyway, but it's still going apart. The Quran is still going apart. Anyway, we still continue with Surah 26, Ashura. mm, the abomination of those who mocked the message of Lot, the abomination of those who mocked the message of Lot, required on themselves, and so did the fraud of dishonesty of the mockers of Shuaib. Text and notes, Psalms 160 to 191. Underneath we have revelation. Revelation comes through the spirit of faith and truth. Revelation comes through the spirit of faith and truth. And it's not like the vain words of the poets. Yeah, not like the vain words of the poets. A poet can say a lot of things to please the listener, but revelation is not like that. It goes straight to the point and tell you the truth in your face, without any qualms. Mm. Text and notes. Pardon me. It's not like the vain words of the poet of false poets. Text and notes. 19 Signs 192 to 227. This can be found on page 1081 to 1086. Uh, from there, we go to Appendix 4. I think we only did Appendix 1. Mm. From there, we go to Appendix 4. I think it wise to go back to do the appendices 2, 3, and 4 rather than piling them up. Mm. Let me see. Okay, no problem. When we come, we will we will read the news, the introduction, and then when we come back, we'll go to Appendix 2. Mm. So we go to Appendix 4. Talmud, inscriptions at Al-Hijra. Inscriptions at Al-Hijra. So that's introduction to Appendix 4. Now from chapter 26, we go to chapter 27. Uh, Anomaly. Mm. Uh, is it the 11? Let me find out. I forget a lot these days. Surah 24. Anali is B, but Anamli, I've forgotten. 24. Or is it 27 rather? Oh my God. So while reading to you, I'm at the same time revising. Mm. Uh, yes, the ants. Anamli is the ants. Uh, I'm forgetting my Arabic or my Quran. Anamli is the ants, and that's Surah 27. Mm. Introduction and summary can be found on page 1089, Surah 1089. Revelation makes things clear, guides us in life, and gives us glad tidings. Semicolon. How the message came to Moses through the fire. How the message came to Moses through the fire. Then we have text and notes, and that can be found, pardon me, and that can be found on that can be found in the sign 1 up to sign 14. Then after that we have How David and Solomon praise God. David used to sing beautiful songs, such that birds would forget about eating, and fall down dead from from hunger. mm. So, how David and Solomon praise God. Solomon and the ants. The ants could speak to Solomon, and he to them. Solomon, Solomon and the ant. When the ant said to his colleagues to hurry up, otherwise Solomon's soldiers would trample on them. So Solomon and the ant, Solomon and the queen of Sheba. Mm. When a bird came and reported the queen of Sheba to Solomon, who summoned her to his house. Then Solomon and the queen of Sheba. Then text and news, signs 15 to 44. Mm. Then after that, under that we have the plot of the nine wicked men against Sally brought about their own destruction, as did also the defiance of purity and cleanliness by the people of Lot. Mm. When Lord's people wanted to sleep with God's messenger, when I say messenger here, angels. Okay, text and news. You get it from Psalms 45 through 58. Then after that, we have the gifts of nature and the solace of mind and soul come from God. The gifts of nature and the solace of mind and soul come from God. Semicolon. Trust in His grace and mercy. Trust in the grace and mercy of God. In other words, then judgment will come. Judgment will come. Then we have to brackets text and notes, 27 to 59. Then text and notes again, 27 to 60. No, 20, Psalm 27. No, text and notes. This very chapter 27, page 59. Then text and notes again, 60 to 93. So the two combined will get the text and notes uh, on page 1106 up to page 1115. 1106 to 1115. Uh, we go to the next chapter, and that's chapter 28. Uh, Al-Qasas. And the Qasas, I think, is the narration. Surah Al-Qasas. Surah Al-Qasas. Yes, Surah Al-Qasas is the narration, and that's Surah 28. Introduction and notes can be found on page 1116. Page 116, 1116, 1106. Mm. Then Alcazar's continues. We've gone over leaf. Alcazar's continues. Continued. Uh, Moses was prepared in infancy, youth, and exile for the mission, and he succeeded by God's help. So you see, if God is choosing you, He might choose you right from birth. That's did Moses right from birth. His wonders started, but we overlook these wonders. Hmm? So Moses was prepared in infancy, youth, and exile, for his mission, and he succeeded by God's help. Text and notes. You'll find that on sign 1 to sign 42 of Surah Al-Qasas, that's the narration. Under it we have, so was Muhammad prepared to be a mercy to men. Of course, also at birth. Mm. You see how wonderful God is. Muhammad was also prepared at birth. So the writer says, so was Muhammad prepared to be a mercy to men. Text and notes can be found on page 43 up to page 60. 43 up to page 60. Under it we have, in the hereafter, each soul must answer for itself. You don't answer for your father, for your mother, for your girlfriend, for your sister. You answer for yourself, and they all equally answer individually for themselves. Mm. So, uh, where is it? Text. In the hereafter, each soul must answer for itself. Semicolon. Mercy and truth are from God alone. Mercy and truth are from God alone. Only God alone knows the truth, the real truth. Mm. Here in the world, somebody might be sentenced to death and killed wrongly when he's innocent. It's been there. The lucky ones spent decades in prison before uh, someone from somewhere or someone from nowhere comes to tell the whole truth because he's been taunted by spirits. But God knew the truth long time. Mm. So mercy and truth are from God alone. Text and notes, sign 61 to sign 75. And this can be found on page 1138 to 1142, 1138, page 1138 to 1142. Then under it we have, not wealth, but righteousness attains the happy end. Not wealth, but righteousness attains the happy end. Both my Christian brothers and sisters preach this, as well as followers of the Quran. Mm. Uh, God is the only reality. God is the only reality. Text and notes. Text and notes can be found on page on the yes on page 1142 to 1148, and that is signed and that will be signed 76 to 78. Oh, God is the only reality. Text and news. Mm. Sign 76 to sign 88 can be found on pages 1142 to 1148. Uh, do we go to 38? We go to sign 39. 39, 39. Oh, I see. 38 is a long chapter. Mm. Ankabut. We go to Ankabut. I think spider. Either spider or spider web. Let's see. Yes, the spider, Ankabut. um, 29. Mm. Al Ankabut. Introduction and summary can be found on page 1149. Faith and truth must always prevail. Faith and truth must always prevail. Text and notes can be found, will be on sign 1 to sign 27, which can be found on page 1150 to 1158. Then under it, we have worldly power cannot defy the right. Worldly power cannot defy the right, nor can misused intelligence. Very good. Or can misuse intelligence defy the right? So, as worldly power cannot defy the right, so misused intelligence cannot defy the right. Mm. Viewers, true or false? It's left for us to ponder. Mm. Then obscure God's light. Obscure God's light. Semicolon. The world's strength, skill, beauty, and power are like a spider's web. I love that. Not network, the web of the network. Mm. Uh, are like the spider's web, comma, flimsy before the eternal verities. Mm. Flimsy before the extent the sorry, flimsy before the eternal, pardon me, flimsy before the eternal verities. Verities spelled Verities, verities. Text and notes. We have signs 28 to 44, and that will can be found on pages 1158 to 1163. We go to the next part, which is labeled here as part 21. Mm. Teach God's truth and pray to Him. Teach God's truth and pray to Him. Revelation carries its own proofs. Revelation carries its own proofs. Mm. And rejectors miss their own chance to go by the truth or to admit the truth and go by them. Mm. So rejectors miss their own chance. Text and notes can be found on pages, can be found on pages 1164 to 1173, and that will be sign 45 to sign 60 of Ankabut, spiders, the spider. Mhm. Uh, Let me go back a bit. What does it say? The world's strength, skill, beauty and power are like a spider's web, mm, flimsy before the inner eternal verities. Let's keep that in mind. And that is chapter 29, Surah Al-Ankabut, or the spider. When we come next time, viewers, we shall go to chapter 30, Arum, or Room. Remember, Room was very, very, very powerful in these days, and you can see relics of their power or relics of the sign of their power in various cities. Mm. You can see Roman numerals in my country, Ghana, and I believe in other places. Roman numerals, even in distance, you remember that I say I'm not very good at Roman numerals. So the Romans were very, very powerful. And when we talk of the Romans, it represents the white race generally, the Western race generally. And so that is where we'll go to next time when we come back, God willing. Till we meet again. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Au revoir. May God be with you all.